So, brother, what the fuck are we doing?
I don't know what we're doing, man. Let's figure it out as we go along. How about that?
Mate, it's weird, right? Like we're on this rotating rock around another rock which is on fire, and the rock that we're on is on fire, but not as much. And we try and slap all these rules on each other and live by it to fuel the machine, which doesn't actually exist. It just means about a handful of people make more money on top of the money that they already can't spend to give it to a stripper so she can then pay for a kid to go to tuition. Sounds good.
It sounds like a plan.
You know, you're
It's funny
like,
though, dude, if you think about it, everything we're doing, everything we've done in the grand scheme of things, it doesn't fucking matter.
oh,
Nothing matters except what matters to us in the second, in the moment that we're doing it. Now, it could either be it matters to me personally, selfishly, or selflessly. And is it selfish to try to be a good person to make my day easier? Or is it selfish that I don't want to be a dick every fucking second of the day because I don't want to have to deal with people if I'm a dick every second of the day? You know what I mean?
yeah.
What, bro? None of it matters.
Have you always thought like that? Or was there a specific event, Jesus, if I don't swallow my own tongue, that made you think this way?
It's funny because even though in the back of my head, like you said, we're just floating on this rock in the middle of nothingness. At the same time, that nothingness is filled with everything.
Yeah,
And
man.
so even though none of this in the grand scheme of life matters, because life is going to continue, whatever life is, it's going to continue, whether we are participating or not. I still I still give a shit.
Mm.
I have kids, I have a family, I have responsibility, right? That
Yeah.
I mean, if you and I were to get up and walk away, someone else is going to sit in the chairs that we sit in,
Yep.
regardless of what we do, right? It doesn't mean we don't matter. It just means that I'm trying to do the best I can with the time that I'm given. Now, I could give up and I could just say, fuck it. I don't care anymore. It's easier not to care. It's easier to be a piece of shit and just crawl through life and let everybody else take care of me. But see, then there comes that little piece of ego where I don't want to have someone care for me. I want to do it myself. And I want to in turn care for everybody else around me. Does that make it bad?
Do you think that's an
I don't know,
innate
man.
feeling in humans to care for one another?
I don't think so. I think I think animals, I think organisms can care for one another. I just think it's just different. It differs by degree,
Yeah.
not kind, right? Right? And I honestly, I don't know when I've not felt this way or thought this way,
Yeah.
even as a little kid.
I relate to that quite heavily. It's like we it's like we finally find the vocabulary to be able to describe it to another human being, but the feeling that we feel innately has always been the same.
Right.
And the way or at least try to articulate it, is everything you already need is already within you. People and experiences just help pull it out. And
Yeah.
I quite often think about when we're born and when we die, this little line that is our life that, let's be honest, is just a fucking speck of dust in the whole grand scheme of the universe. Is that it? Or has there been something before and will there be something after, but we just can't remember what was before and we just won't remember what we're doing now in the thing after? And I'm quite often pulled to that of like, this just can't be it, man. This can't be it. There's going to be something else.
Do you want, bro? Do you want to have an existential
Hey, I'm in.
conversation? Because
I got
I
my
got all
coffee. I'm
kinds
good.
of I got all kinds. I got all kinds of thoughts and theories on this shit. So ever since I was a little kid, right, I've had extensive deja vu
Whoosh.
in all kinds of scenarios, in all kinds of, again, degrees. Um, super apparent that it's deja vu, and then also I don't really know what that was, but it felt like deja vu. This is going to make me sound like a fucking whack job, just so you know, but that's okay. I'm fine with it. I feel like I feel like what deja vu is for some people is the ability to see where that past, that present, what came before that.
Mm.
And when you hit that proverbial crossroads and you chose to go left, well, what if somewhere you chose to go right?
Yeah.
And then again, a crossroads happened. And at some point in time, you cross back up again with whatever decision you didn't make, wherever that decision happened after you didn't make it. Because guess what? If you decide to go left, the right road's still there. That other road, that other choice is still there. Something else still happens somewhere, right? I 100% believe that deja vu is that feeling when your decisions that you made and didn't make come back and hit some sort of conjunction. And that's life. That's the energy coming back and telling you you're either on the right path or a different path. It's just some sign that something is telling us that we have made a decision, we are on a certain path. I've had deja vu to a point where I can say when it begins, and then I can tell you what's going to happen throughout that period of time, and then I can tell you when it has stopped. But then I've also had deja vu where it's like, whoa, and then it's gone like that. Crazy. And that makes me sound a little
Well,
nutty, but that's okay.
well, we all know you're fucking nuts, so that's all good. But the thing is,
I was going to say, I can't wait till Fern hears this conversation.
logical mind. The thing is, man, I've had again. I'm. You know what? I'm going to join the crazy train. Here we go. Let's blow smoke in our own asses here. Um, quite regularly, not so much.
Welcome.
Not so much in recent years, but quite regularly looking back, kid, teenager, early 20s, I'll have a dream at night. And then you go up and you investigate said dream and it comes true every time. Like, for example, I'll always have a dream about a snake in the grass and then somebody will fuck me over. Or I'm like, wait, hold on a minute. Somebody's around that shouldn't be around and someone's doing the dirty behind your back and you going and doing the whole investigating thing and you're like, oh, okay, yes, cool. That was correct. Strange, isn't it? There's got to be different levels of energy that we can tap into.
I absolutely believe that there is other levels of, I mean, there is. We know there is. We know there's different levels of energy. We know
Frequencies, yeah.
that the human eye, yeah, the human eye can only see certain frequencies, right?
Yeah.
Cats and dogs' eyes can see different wavelengths than human eyes. So we know there's other overlapping energy. Dude, and I am not an energy person. I'm not a crystal person. I'm not a yoga person. I'm not
Ah,
a Zen person at all. But I'll tell you, man, the more you think about it, the more life you live and the more experiences you have, as as stupid as it sound as those things sound when you're younger, because when you're younger, you're full of piss and vinegar. You don't need anybody telling you anything. You know everything. The older you get, the more you realize we have no fucking clue. We
oh,
have
mate.
no idea. And so I feel like it opens up the opportunities to learn and see things and feel things that you haven't really had the opportunity to do because you're an idiot. You're a dipshit little kid. You know, you're a dipshit teenager. You're a dipshit 20-year old. And until you grow up and have those experiences, then you get to open your eyes and see things for maybe what they aren't are, but what they could be. I don't know. I don't know, man. We're just bullshitting.
100%. We're talking out our ass. I told you, fucking teach adult PE. Jesus, don't fucking take my word for it. Take somebody else's word for it. God damn, I might know them like the most about one specific thing. Yeah, push your knees out and fucking push your chest up and probably look forward and keep your toes and your heels down. Yeah, cool. But you ask me about bloody anything else, I'd be like, I have fucking no idea. Like, I got no idea. The only thing I know is I know nothing, and that's the way I live my life, man. And I think I ask myself at least once a day, what if I'm wrong? What if everything that we think is correct? What if it's wrong?
Yeah. Or ask yourself this too. Who cares if you're wrong?
Oh yeah, 100%.
Be wrong,
Hmm.
you know? And if you are wrong, learn from it. And if you don't, that's okay too. You're just going to have to suffer the consequences, maybe, you know?
Yeah, man. I mean, correct ideas are only correct and strengthened the weight of it when you entertain incorrect ideas. We have to figure that out,
Yeah.
you know?
I had, so we have talking about dreams. We have one of our coaches. So I'm going to tell you a story. So I had a dream and
Okay, MLK.
I woke up from this, I woke up from this dream and I immediately rolled over to my wife and said, I just had a premonition. Like I still had like sleep in my eye, like my hair's all like this. I'm in my filthy jammies, right? And I roll over and I'm like, I had a premonition. And she goes, rubbing her eyes, what does that even mean? I said, there is someone in our family or our very immediate circle, not community, not like, maybe someone, I don't know, are a very immediate circle. There is somebody, one, two, maybe three people that are pregnant. And she goes, what are you even talking about? And I said, it's either, so I have a son from a previous marriage, and Chas, she has a daughter from a previous marriage. So I go, it's either Mason, it's either Peyton, it's a combination of the two, or it's someone else in our family that's pregnant. I go, I don't know why, I don't know how, I don't know what the dream was about, except that there were three babies coming. So fast forward a week and a half, one of our coaches at the gym comes to us. We knew they were expecting a child, and they had difficulties getting pregnant. He comes up to us and he goes, guess what? And I go, it's a boy, right? He goes, it's two boys. And I'm like, bro, you're having twins. He goes, it's two boys and one girl.
Oh,
and I'm like, dude, you're having triplets? Unbelievable. And then it clicked. I was like, oh, I stopped him. Like in this moment of him, don't get me wrong, him telling me isn't his big grand scheme of opening up to the world that he's having triplets. But in his moment of telling me, like, we're expecting triplets, I stole it in a second. And I was like, bro, I had a premonition that this was going to happen. And I went and grabbed my wife because she was at the gym, and I pulled her over. I'm like, tell him that I told you this 2 weeks ago, that this was going to happen. And unbelievable. No one gives a shit now. I mean, no one cared then. But in my head, I'm like, something significantly universal happened that I knew they were going to have, that someone was going to have three babies. And then a week and a half later, boom, my coach is like, hey, we're having triplets.
well, that's the thing, right? Like people think we're all the main characters in our own story. And what is very significant in our story, we try and relay it and tell it to somebody else. They're just like, yeah, cool story, bro. Get the fuck out of my face.
Cool story. Check out this story I have.
Yeah, you're like, oh, okay, cool. Yeah. Thanks, man. The barista getting your coffee wrong isn't, me predicting you having triplets, but okay. Thanks, pal.
Yeah. Yeah, exactly.
I got a question.
Yeah.
In life, what are you trying to find?
Honestly, purpose. I'm trying to find purpose. I'm trying to find something that my children can be proud of me for, and I'm trying to find something that my family can be proud of me for. But more honestly, I'm trying to find something that I can be proud of when I'm taking my last breath. That's what I'm searching for.
Do you think we uh, have or assigned purpose, or do you think we created ourselves?
I think we created ourselves. I think we create every feeling that we have for ourselves. I believe we create purpose to justify the time that we've spent doing what we do. I feel I feel that purpose, if we can relate purpose to our tasks and to our years and to our life, then I feel like we're searching for fulfillment. And whether we receive it, whether we reach it, I don't know. I'll only know when I'm lying there taking my last breath, if I know it's my last breath. Um, but I think that's something we put on our own shoulders.
Yeah.
I don't think we're born with it.
I'm in that camp too. I think it's a man-made thing. I think purpose is this pursuit to try and find meaning, right? Why the fuck am I here? This existential crisis of what is my place in the universe and what is the universe? Why am I here? What is this thing that we are experiencing? Why are we experiencing it? What does it mean? If it means anything,
Right.
and I think grappling with the thought of it means nothing and it has no purpose. I think that doesn't do us any favors. It interacts with
No.
our own psyche, and it's like, well, then I could just like blow my own brains out and everything will be fine. You're like, well, yes, but we can't allow yourself or ourselves to think that, because then you will inevitably start fucking swinging from a noose, as everybody would. It's like, well,
Right.
nothing means anything, nothing matters. I don't matter, you don't matter, whatever. It's like, no. We have to assign something. We have to basically create a light that we have to chase. And I think about it regularly, and the people closest to me know how I work. I'm fucking definitely nuts, but I'm like, I gotta have this light at the end of the tunnel, and I don't ever need to touch it. And sometimes I don't even know what it fucking is, but I just need to know in what direction it is, and I need to know it's there, and I gotta run after it. So that
Yeah.
the whole goal, the whole purpose is the pursuit of this light that is always getting me running after it. And that's what gets you out of bed in the morning, right? And I think we do ourselves a disservice playing by someone else's rules. And unfortunately, that's the way academia is set up, right?
Oh yeah.
Here's here's a set of rules. It's like, yeah, why are every kid from 18 to bloody 25, why are they miserable as piss? Because they're trying to find out their own rules and their own
Right.
moral compass. Where does it spin? What direction does it point in? What do they want to do?
Right.
And then we gravitate towards certain knowing agents, right? Violence, sex, drugs, alcohol, fucking whatever it is, gambling, video games. It's like, right, let me just numb myself so I can like
I,
escape my own self. And it's a scary place, man.
I feel, I believe, I'm not a religious person, but I believe that there's a higher power. I don't know what that is. I don't know
Yeah.
if it's a guy in sandals. I don't know if it's a I don't know if it's a something else, right? I don't know. I don't know what I don't know. But I believe we as people, as humans, we were born with a sense of appreciation for this gift that we're given to take our first breath and then every subsequent breath after that. I believe we understand that gift. and we appreciate that gift. I don't know if that creates that sense of need or that purpose that we don't want to waste this gift, you know? But then who decides what's a waste of that gift?
Mm.
Just because someone is deemed unfit, or, and I'm not even talking in the CrossFit
Yeah.
terminology, just mentally unstable, mentally unfit, physically incapable. Society has deemed them that. How do we know that they don't have that inner ability to still chase that same light, still chase that same
Yeah.
purpose? Who are we to put that boundary on anybody else other than ourselves? And I think that's something that makes us unique from every other, not every other, many of the other creatures on this planet, on this rock that we're spinning around on, is the fact that we do have and appreciate that gift that we're given. And it doesn't matter who we are or what boundaries are placed on us, that we still have that opportunity to chase that same light, to chase that same purpose, and to feel that same appreciation when all of this is said and done this time around the sun, right? Who knows what's going to happen after?
You think you've been here before?
I have an easier time believing that we have the opportunity to come back in some way, shape, or form than I do that when the life exits my body, that the lights flick and I'm done and nothing exists after that. I have an easier time believing that at the core of it, we're energy, right? We're carbon. We're carbon-based life forms. At the base of that, everything is made of carbon around
Mm.
us. Every single thing around us is made of carbon. When we die, we don't dissolve into the air. We turn back into what we were created. It's easier for me to believe that that energy, that carbon that we turn into at the end, creates opportunities for our energy to live on somewhere else. So I have to then also believe that we have come from something else, and that the energy and materials that make up us has to have some sort of memory at the heart of what we are.
Mm.
Can I prove it? Fuck no. No one can. Nobody can. But at the same time, no one can prove that I'm wrong. No one can. Me feeling right, me being right, isn't dependent on you, Alex, believing that I am right. It's
Mm.
dependent on me and my conviction. Do I think something's going to happen? Am I going to be reincarnated? I don't know. But I have an easier time believing that than everything just ceases to exist.
Yeah, I had well, quite a few really in-depth conversations with a good friend of mine, and he started off as a member and became a good friend of mine. And he studies philosophy, right? And I was like, oh, okay, cool. Like, teach me about it. Like, fuck, I don't know. I'm blonde, been hit in the head too many times. Like, I have no idea what's going on. And essentially, he went down the path of he believes that there is no point of existence. Um, and I'm like, oh, okay, cool. So, what makes you get out of bed in the morning? It's like, well, I feel like I have to, yada yada. And I was like, well, like over those subsequent conversations, it seems like your belief is turning around and biting you in the ass. It's hindering you. So maybe it's better to be a little bit more ignorant and be like, you know what? I'm gonna believe that there's a fucking dude in sandals in the sky, or I'm gonna go to whatever, and because it means I get out of bed in the morning and I do right by me and the people around me, and
Yeah,
I try and help that little sphere of influence that we got, and we try and be try not to be a cunt 51% of the time. But it's like,
absolutely.
if you got to believe some wacky shit to do that, then you believe your wacky shit, man.
Yeah. Yeah. Who am I to tell you that that's not
Who am I to tell
a
you,
way
man?
to live? You know, it's I'm right in line with you.
Mm. You know, like, I mean, CrossFit gyms, right, is a perfect example. We see so many cultures come through the door, and it is a fucking privilege. It could bring a tear to my eye right now of like hearing those stories laced within those people and cultures, right? But we also hear some wild shit,
Oh
some
yeah,
like
100%.
weird tradition or whatever it is, right? And you're like, huh, that's really cool. It's really weird, but it's really cool. But why do you do that? And what does that cause? And you're like, oh, it causes like community and family, or we give to the neighbor, or yada, yada, yada. You're like, oh, so everybody benefits. This could be right or wrong. It doesn't fucking matter. But everybody's benefiting and it creates a stronger bond and a sense of community. And you're like, oh, sounds great. Yeah, I'm in.
Yep.
You want to eat goat's heads and kangaroo testicles and stuff. I'm like, probably going to pass on the scrotum. But yeah, I'm in, like no problem. Like if everybody's like making sure, the next person's okay and they're doing the same for the next one. Yeah, sounds great, man.
I tell people all the time that my gym is my sanctuary.
Mm,
My CrossFit gym is my dojo.
it's the
My
church,
CrossFit gym, yeah, is my church.
100%.
That doesn't mean that I'm worshiping Greg Glassman, but what it means is that I'm worshiping the work and the effort that I'm putting in, like you said, to reach out and bring that community piece to people that maybe didn't know they needed it. Maybe they didn't know to expect it when they walked in our doors. But we're definitely doing what we can to make sure people feel it every single day. That's my church. That's my sanctuary, man. I
And
love it.
I think it's necessary, man. I think it's necessary to find something like that. And fuck, if it's CrossFit, if it's religious, if it's fucking whatever, it doesn't matter. Make sure it's good for you and the people around. Yeah, mint. Like you go do you, man. You got to find that little thing where you can check in with yourself and check out with the world, right? And I wholeheartedly believe us in this little meat sack need to find something which dishes us a little bit of physical adversity because I
Oh,
think it uncovers a layer of ourselves that we can't find without it, right? And like I was speaking to members this morning, not this morning, yesterday evening. They're saying, "Oh yeah, this sucks." I was like, "Yeah, yeah, it really does. Like, so does life sometimes, right?" And like, you really don't want to get out of bed. And he's like, "Yeah," and like, you really just want to eat Cheetos and fucking drink beer until you fucking pass out. And you're like, "Yeah, yeah, yeah." And like, "Yeah, man, yep, I'm with you. It hurts for us too." But guess what? Like, we come in here and we put the work in, and then you end up fucking feeling like you want to throw up, and you look up and you're really hating it, and you realize you're actually looking at a mirror and
yeah,
you're just having that conversation with yourself. You're like, well, I could go right or left. I could listen to the angel or the devil, whatever depiction you want to draw it out as. It's you. What are you gonna do?
yep,
And they're like,
absolutely.
oh, okay. Like it's not about the whiteboard or it's not about the next person. I was like, fuck the next person. In this moment, it's about you, mate. What are you gonna do? It's like, oh, okay, cool. Everybody gets a high five. We talk some shit afterwards. We crush a fit aid or whatever, and it's like, see you again tomorrow. That really sucked, and it was a cool time. But it really is you having that conversation with the person staring back at you in the mirror.
100%. I've grown more in the 11 years that I've been doing CrossFit than I did in the previous, how old does that make me? 32 years before I found CrossFit. I've grown more in the 11 years. And yes, it's because we've chosen to do a hard thing every day, every single day, except Sunday. Every single day, we've chosen to do a hard thing. We've chosen to test ourselves, however we do that. But more so because I've worked so hard to build myself up inside that place that it's only inevitably work to also build myself up in all other facets of my life, mentally, spiritually, in that sense of community that everybody talks about when they talk about their own gym, right? We have the best community. Everybody has the best community. But I've worked so hard to create that community, but also to allow myself to be a part of that community. And I've grown so much because of that. And it's all because of what we've done these past 11 years. And bro, I wouldn't change it for anything. I wouldn't change none of it for anything. It matters. It doesn't matter. It makes me feel really good. I know that. And that to me matters. And we get to help others feel good, and we get to enjoy it, and we get to spend time doing what we love. I just wish, honestly, I wish we can get more people in doing what we love. I wish it could be as easy as selling religion and just get people to bite on as easy as they do to something as spiritual as that, because this can be just as spiritual and uplifting.
Yeah, and let's be honest, it's got nothing to do with your buddy air squat or your burpee or your Fran time. It's got everything to
Mm-hmm.
do with making you better. And I know for a fact, even if I just go to commercial gym, man, you don't do any like CrossFit workout or whatever, you just move it, right? You're
Oh,
doing something
absolutely.
that's difficult, right? I know if I don't, I'm not a nice person. And if I
Yeah.
do, I'm a better person. Even if it's something as simple as that.
Yep.
Go to yoga, do your thing, be the Pilates person, rub the buddy, quartz stones or whatever. No problem. If it
Get
makes
a
you a better
running club
person,
together.
running
Yeah.
club, yeah,
Yeah.
fucking weirdos. Ugh, I like to go for a run. No, 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 fucking weird people. Brother, I got 3 questions.
All right.
What's the greatest piece of life advice you've ever received?
Oh man. Honestly, I use this piece of advice every single day. And my dad gave it to me a couple years ago when I got elected to our city council, to represent my hometown. He said, "Don't be an idiot." He said, "If you're going to take our name and drag it through politics, don't be an idiot."
Yeah,
I can use that in every facet of my life.
yeah. Don't be an idiot. What's the worst piece of life advice you've ever received?
You can do anything you put your mind to.
That was a rather fast
That is
answer.
a because it's the most bullshit answer. I could get on my roof right now and put my mind to flying. Guess what? I'm not going to fly. Gravity is going to take me to the concrete below. So no, horseshit. You can't do anything you put your mind to.
But if you join our religion and you pray hard enough, maybe you can fly.
Exactly. If you CrossFit hard enough,
Yeah.
maybe you can fly off the top of our rope climbs.
It's just going to be a subscription of 5K a month. Send it to my PayPal account.
Exactly.
Pay me in Bitcoin or some bullshit. Fucking brilliant. What are the 3 words you would tell your younger self?
uh, probably don't. 3 words. Don't be afraid. I lived I lived my whole life in fear, all kinds of fear, man. Fear of being judged, fear of not being liked. I love football, American football. I love American football, and I quit because I was so afraid of not being good enough that I showed everybody by quitting when I was a kid. I'm not saying I would have been good or played, in college or anything, but I loved it so much. And because I loved it so much, I was afraid of it. And I lived my whole life that way up until my early 30s. That's another piece of advice or life lesson my dad gave me is how old are you, Alex?
27.
27?
Mm-hmm.
Bro, you're light years ahead. My dad's advice is you're a dipshit kid until you're 32. He doesn't know why, but all of my brothers and sisters, all of us were dipshit kids until we turned 32. As soon as we hit 32, in his words, we grew a brain and we're able to think for ourselves. You're light years ahead of us. So, it's just don't be afraid. Don't be afraid, young Randy.
Don't
Life
be
will get
afraid.
better.
Don't be afraid. They're beautiful 3 words, man. And
Yeah.
I relate to that very heavily. Yeah. Brother, I'm going to have to pop into your gym. I have to
Hey,
come stateside, man.
you come stateside, you come to the West Coast, man. You got a place to stay and a place to work out.
Fuck, I'll go West Coast, Middle, East, North, South. I don't give a shit. I'll be around, mate. You know what I mean? Like I need to do like a proper road trip or something. Or maybe I'll walk across the states. Fuck it. Why not?
There you go. There you go. You'll hit a CrossFit gym and everywhere you walk to. So you'll be in good company, man. No one will
Yeah.
let you go.
I'll be just keep doing my thing. Tell immigration.
Yep.
I'm just gonna go walk across the country. They're like,
Yeah.
why? So I
It
don't
doesn't
know,
matter.
bro.
I'm doing
Like,
it.
like I do anything, you know,
Yeah,
for the
exactly.
story. To share a beer when we get there, or a coffee, or a fucking workout, and be like, you know what, man, that was kind of rad. Let's do something
Yep.
different. Let's do something else.
Yep. I can do hard shit.
I can do hard shit.
Hmm.
Mate, I can just imagine me looking at the immigration advisor in the eye and be like, I can do hard shit. As he's gripping hold of his fucking handgun, telling me to get out of the country.
That might actually happen. You're right.
Yep,
Have your
probably
visa
will,
with
mate.
you.
Be like, get back on that plane, son. Okie dokie. See you later. Brother, this has been an honor and privilege, mate. Like just
Needs
talking
to.
to like-minded and different-minded people, but just some cool fucking people on the planet. Doing this thing is showing me that there's more similarities in human beings than there are differences, and it is a fucking privilege, mate. It really is, and I appreciate you wanting to talk to a stranger on the internet, even if we just share a little bit of shit talk. So thank you, brother.
Hey, the honor is mine. Thank you.
Thank you, man. We'll speak soon, and I'll definitely get over to your CrossFit gym.
All right, buddy. You're always welcome.
I'm in. All right, take it easy, guys. Peace.